Welcome back to Questing Time, friends. I'm your host, Paul Foxcroft. This is episode 7, part 2 of our Questing Time Dungeons & Dragons live stream game from the internet. Currently, the players are at Cogbottom's Monstrous Petting Zoo and Activity Centre, where they are supposed to be tracking down a missing baby owlbear by the name of Hootie Friend, which, if you've ever watched the Questing Time live shows, is a reference to that. You don't need to know that to enjoy the show. What they have done is bothered a lot of animals, weirded out the lady who runs it, and I think now are currently trying to teach half-griffon how to fly, despite the fact that he's never flown before in his life. Let's see how well that goes. I mean, you have an idea, right? Enjoy the show. I'm curious.
Can I just
Richard, what is the Reverend doing?
He is wondering why we're not just walking down the stairs that we walked up.
Do you know what? If you have a good plan, you got to say it quicker.
But this is just like an intuitive plan that I didn't think needed to be said.
And with that, the eagle takes off, carrying Phillin by the buttocks, and flies
with bardic
and is genuinely delighted. Oh, that's a very good point. Hooray. Flies for a distance of about 6 feet before muscles that have never been used sort of, I don't know, give up. And she loses, having rolled a natural 1, loses grip on the greasy halfling.
This is just like me doing Pilates.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Matt, how many hit points have you got left?
Probably not enough. 11.
You take 10 damage as you fall 2 stories and land on the street immediately outside.
Does Ruff catch him?
Actually, yeah, Ruff, you can make a dexterity saving throw. Okay. No, not a dexterity roll to just dive catch Phillin. Oh, okay.
Is that going to be athletics?
No, just straight dex.
Straight dex.
Yeah.
13.
13. Okay, cool. Matt, instead of taking 10 damage, you are caught heroically by the rough knight and merely take 4 damage from all the spikes on his armor. The bird, however, makes a dexterity save and gets a natural 20, and so actually does work out flying during a sort of dive bomb thing.
Hey!
It spreads its wings at the last moment, and in a really cool, brief moment, just as it's approaching the floor, its wings spread, and there's no... As it soars up and is briefly silhouetted by the sun, then it just starts circling around the area, and then starts vomiting, because it's not good with heights. But
you see, if you want to learn something... You got to try the most difficult version first, and then the normal version seems easy.
Can we get some fly hype in the chat, please?
Yeah.
The one thing I learned from the What's On-a-thon is people love being instructed what to hype in the chat. So
get some fly.
Please, can we have some fly hype in the chat?
Yeah. And thank you for what I assume is a bird-related donation of a tenner there from Jen Birren. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Also, I'm really excited to see Face Lena Gray. Any art you do will be retweeted at Questing Time on the Twitter. So we got fly hype. I don't know what that means. What is fly hype? What does it mean?
Fly.
So everyone is out of the room you went into to get the first quest, and you've only injured yourselves quite badly and used up some of your limited spells. You're now outside, adjacent to Richard. You're now on the other side. You're all out on the street. You are what's the word? You're out on the far side of the owlbear enclosure that you saw had the little hole whittled in it, just on the street. You are right next to. Oh, there's just like a couple of, I guess, sort of like shed-esque structures. Like the back of the petting zoo is. A little street that opens onto like shed and sheds for equipment and storage of farm-based stuff. There's like some farmers' spaces, some light industrial farm space.
Are you running a craft market these days, Paul?
Actually, the craft market is on the other side of town. That's the Rufus market is on the other side of town.
Excellent.
Thanks. Thank you for that sub, Niximus. I hope you enjoy the noise it made. Yay. So, things. What would you like to do next? Which is a dangerous question to ask you people.
Yeah, but because my answer is this.
Yes.
I'd like to try and attract my griffin mate.
Sure.
Because ultimately, the way this is hopefully going to play out is he then becomes essentially, you know how pirates have parrots?
Yes.
I'm going to try and have a Scouse eagle on my armor of spikes that basically comes with us everywhere. And if we needed to do things like see if a thing was happening, he could fly up, have a look round, and fly back and tell us what was going on.
Yeah, he's useful. It's not because we want to pet.
The quickest way to do that is take 3 levels in Ranger.
Have any
Paul,
of us learned
that's
his
the
name?
quickest way.
Did anyone get his name, by the way?
Yeah, what is the
No
name
one
of
did.
it?
Oh.
Well, can we ask now?
Wait, hang on. I'm gonna turn all this round. But first, we've got to get him back. So I'm trying to attract his attention and get him to come back.
How?
So I've got this greasy, shitty halfling in my arm who is brushing himself, like bleeding from somewhere where my spikes went into him.
I just whisper to you whilst I'm in your arms. Did you see me fly, Mr. Ruff?
And I, chuckling, just whisper back, "Aye, you are beautiful."
And I close my eyes and just think of the puppy room.
Sure.
I basically look up at the sky and shout, "Go on, you beauty!" And then if he can hear me, I will follow that up with a sort of hand gesture.
He's landed, hasn't he?
Yeah. Just say fly.
No, last time we saw him, he was silhouetted by the sun.
Yeah, on his landing.
Yeah, but then he vomited and landed on the roof.
We've got.
Oh, he
more
vomited and
rats,
landed back with us.
No, he's on the roof.
Ah.
Can
well,
we
hang on?
We have
Yeah,
a bag
Briony-
of rats, though, right?
Briony and Rich are on the roof.
And everybody else other than the halfling had come downstairs.
Oh, okay.
Idiot.
Right, sorry everyone, I'm gonna walk back up to the roof.
Wait.
I hope
Sure.
he doesn't take Phillin with him, otherwise we're going to have to again.
As you get up the first set of stairs, you can see that the eagle has come down the little interior staircase.
Lovely. So we meet halfway.
And it's walking back.
Yeah. How was that?
That was all right. Yeah, I liked that. It was a bit much. Baby steps. Yeah.
You know who likes baby steps? Babies. Exactly.
Yeah.
Come on, son. You can do a bit better. Try a bit harder. Dare to dream. What is it they say about where eagles fly?
I don't know. It's
where-
also not really relevant. I'm a half-griffon, so...
Listen, mate. I'm not exactly the world's smallest powerlifter, but if somebody called me that, I would understand why. Let's be honest, if it walks like an eagle and talks like a scouser, it's probably a half-griffin. Now shut your face and follow me. That really ran out of steam halfway through. I apologize.
I would love it if that was the replacement for Henry V. Now, shut your face and follow me.
I might, just for the time being, hang out here a little bit till I get used to flying. I won't lie, I've just vomited a load of rats on the roof. It's actually pretty scary being in the air and that. I might just get used to it for the next day or so and then, see about flying somewhere else.
All right, listen. What's your name, pal?
Oh, Kez.
And you're definitely, let's just for the record, you're definitely a half-griffon.
Yeah.
Definitely what we're sticking to. Yeah. Your name's Kez, and you're definitely a half-griffon. All right, Kez, listen, do you have a favourite food?
Mice.
Right, okay, leave that with me. Listen.
Corn.
Mice and corn.
Not at the same time, I'm not a prick.
All right, well, as you will. Listen, I'll leave you here. But if I come back and it turns out all you've done is sit around on your ass not doing anything, I'm going to feel very let down.
All right.
So come on, Kezzy boy.
I'm gonna work at this. Like, I want to, I've got a new lease on life. It's going to take me a while to ease into it.
You've got a lovely new wing. You fly like a natural. It's just a case of believing in yourself.
Yeah.
Now, don't tell the others I was this chipper.
Oh, nice.
And then
your secret's safe with me. And then
there's a splash of glitter.
I make this noise.
Right, let's go find an owl bear.
Great. Where are you off to?
Have we negotiated any sort of fee for this adventure?
No, you've once again just taken a quest without arranging any kind of payment.
Yeah, but look, we do own a local theatre, and when times are tough, as they have been in this town, those who can afford to maybe do the odd thing without getting paid probably should.
Yeah, we've been paid in having a theatre, so we're going to go do our adventuring and get a good reputation in the town for being adventuring heroes. Help them out.
And now, just on a side note, in the real world, a lot of comedians are out of work at the moment. So,
what a weird time to laugh. A lot of comedians are out of work at the moment.
I can't do it. I can't do a donation speech. I'm sorry.
I can. Take me full screen. I can do it.
Here we go.
Mute him, Rob.
Rob, have you got anything with a panpipe in it you can layer in underneath this?
Yeah, do some Celine Dion.
Honk.
A lot of comedians are already, not all of you. That's Currently, a lot of comedians are out of work because of what's happening on the screen. If you can afford to donate anything to the upkeep and well-being of the comedians currently on stream, massively undermined. I hope someone.
I'm flying, Reverend Jack. I'm flying.
You're not. It's just an illusion.
I literally just flew, Reverend Jack. Draw me now.
In conclusion, dice. Thank you, fake David Gray, who's just honked 20 quid at us.
The system
you'll
works.
notice, by the way, if you donate £1, you get one honk. If you donate more than £1, you get more honks. That is the system. Right, where are you in-game? In-game, focus up. Where are you going?
North.
To the paddock where she said we should go, or following your clues, Reverend. Didn't you say you saw where someone ran off?
Yeah, I want to double back to that outdoor paddock or outdoor wall thing.
Quite literally still there.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Can we look around here for tracks? Like, can we investigate more?
Tracks will be tricky because it's these are cobbled streets, so there's not going to be a ton of tracks. But Rich, you can make an investigation check at advantage.
I like to think that Jack will say, "I'm going to double back and just turn round on the spot."
Like the Transformers ident.
Yeah.
Paul, so that I can try and keep this narrative as clean as possible, imagining that these three are wandering around, kind of looking around and looking for clues. While they're doing that, I run back in and say to Kez, by the way, I don't suppose you saw who took that owl bear, did you?
Oh, no.
Right. I thought that was probably the case. Sorry to have bothered you. I just worried that about an hour from now I was going to look back at this moment and realise that I should have just asked rather than...
No, it makes sense. I understand why. There was a lot of stuff happening with the zombies at the time, so it was kind of confusing.
Sure. Listen, no one's holding you to account here. This was more about me than you.
All right.
I've got 11
Cheers,
on
mate.
that investigation roll.
You got a what, Richard?
11.
11. Can we
11.
also? We were looking around too, so we should roll too, shouldn't we?
He's not communicated to you what he's looking at
Oh, okay.
or
Then.
for, but so yeah, Rich, there's nothing overt kicking around in the streets, except that what you can see you find in a gutter, on the other side of Gygax's court. It takes you about 10-15 minutes to have a proper hunt around. You can find there's a bright yellow button that's like sort of visible in the gutter, mainly because it is a bright yellow button, which is just like the bright yellow button.
I press it.
Oh,
No, okay.
Good instinct.
Hang on, it's
Not
like
like
the right
Yeah,
yellow
clothing.
button.
But it's like the bright yellow buttons on the busy bee that the lady Miss Cogbottom gave you.
Okay.
So
Also,
that's-
yeah, thanks for more subs. Parsley Fiend has subbed at level 1.
Whoop whoop.
Friends,
well,
gather around. I've got a clue.
Ooh. Well done.
Portal, whilst this
Thank
is
you. I'm
happening,
gonna-
is there any way for me to take a short rest to regain any hit points, like just a
Um,
little sit down?
That would require, arguably, you can talk with the guys. If you can negotiate everyone taking an hour's break, then yeah, sure. Thank you, Ibs.
I'd never do that to you guys. Let's run to danger.
I'm all right taking an hour's. If you want an hour's rest, can that hour be spent theoretically with me helping Kez get used to flying?
You could do that, but you wouldn't get the benefits of the rest.
No, I don't need the rest. I'm fine.
Fair enough. In which case,
And we
then-
don't need to point that or anything. I just, as part of the story, I did that.
sure. Lovely stuff. In which case, should we say you guys all take a short rest? Please update your character sheets as such. This feels like a great opportunity to take a brief interval of like 3 to 4 minutes. Certainly, so I can run to the lavatory. And if you're watching this at home, so you can also go make a tea, run to the lavatory, scoot across to Twitter, and if you'd like to tweet, if you could tweet about the stream, that'd be great. And that will be that. I think, yeah, if we're cool. See you back in just under 5 minutes. Literally all of us have urinated. Fun fact. Well, have you? Tell us in the stream if you've also been to the toilet. What is happening? I've got to get this out of my system before Friday.
That's what you said before you went to the toilet, Paul.
Correct. I've also made a cup of tea and left it in a different room on 2 occasions.
That's
So, we're back. The players, you are now in Gygax's court to the north of the town. You have moved in an hour and 20 minutes. You have moved about 50 feet.
That's a record.
But you have one of you has jumped up a roof for no reason.
No
So,
reason, not a style.
Hashtag Soames piss. Appropriate. You found a button, like the button you've got on the little squeaky toy. You are in the shadow of the bloody gate. There's a guard post there and a variety of what I believe I called farmer spaces.
Industrial farmer spaces.
Light industrial farmer spaces.
Are there any people around?
Yeah, it's still relatively quiet out after the massive
Are there any
catastrophe, but there are folks wandering around, yeah.
Are there any kids that are around, I don't know, 11, 12 kind of age?
Yeah.
All right.
There's a little girl.
Where's this going?
You would get it's not a little girl. There's a girl around that age, around 11 years old.
Steve from
Okay.
8-bit is trolling us, by the way.
In which case,
Thanks for the subs.
I'm just checking my equipment.
Whilst Rufus is checking his equipment, just for the chat, off camera we call a Wii a liquid hardcore. Just so you know.
I've got 30 gold. Can I break any of that down to like less money? Can I get?
Yeah, it's not a 30 gold piece. It's probably
No, fine. Okay,
probably
so
30 gold pieces.
I'd like to take a silver piece.
Yep.
And go to the young girl.
Yep.
And I say
I want
to
to point
her,
out, you are a buff as fuck, ripped dwarf wearing spiked armor.
Yeah.
Like, just consider your approach.
Yeah, I am.
As he said that, the shadow creeped across his face.
Not all beards are Santa Claus. You know this, right?
I walk up to her and I say, "Hey, you. Do you want to earn a silver piece?"
At this point, I shout over, "Mr. Ruff, tell her about my puppies."
I look at the girl and quickly say, "Ignore him." Listen, if you can catch 5 mice and take them to my meet at that petting zoo, this silver coin is yours. What do you see?
Make a persuasion roll at disadvantage.
At disadvantage?
Yes.
Fuck it. All right, 5.
Yeah. The little girl's like, no. And just turns tail and runs down an alley.
All right. Who else is around?
Matt's character is currently wearing trousers. Yes. You are opposite. I should point out you are opposite. In the bloody gate. You're also near Corgan's discount meat and game. Which is.
Oh wait, he wants a meat for the owlbear. It likes meat and it's busy bee. We've got a busy bee. We need meat. Remember?
Let's go get some meat for that bear.
Okay, it's a somewhat run down.
I like that Hardcore's got his new catchphrase.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also,
Covering his Shefra eye as well.
Thank you so much to Anastasia Beaverhausen, who was gifted a tier 1 sub to Steve from Go 8-Bit, who is now subbed to this channel whether he likes it or not. Yeah, Steve.
We own you, Steve.
Killing him with kindness.
One of us. Which means he's now got access to my face as an emote.
Oh, wait. Take it back.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, right, so.
Oh, God, Paul, your face has disappeared entirely.
That's how it works. That's the system. Nightbot has just subscribed. How does that work? Where am I going to say? So yes, you're heading towards Corgan's discount meet and game, which is it's a wooden building, significantly run down, and not all of that can really be put down to the fact that there's been a zombie attack. So you head across. You can hear a sort of dull thud coming from inside.
Okay.
Does
Is
it
it
sound like
a shop
meat
though?
being
So we can just go in, right? Yeah, we go in.
We enter the shop.
It is quite dark inside, although at least half of the party has dark vision.
I make the noise of a bell as we go in, even if it doesn't have one.
It has a bell. You harmonise. It's a root note and then five semitones higher.
Lovely.
You hear a bit of shuffling from the back room, and a one-eyed sort of human man with a scraggly beard steps out. Yeah, what do you want, mates? I got mates. I got game.
We'd like
all the meats.
We'll buy your finest meat, sir.
Or whichever meat an owlbear would like best. Like, do you know what owlbears eat? Which is their favourite type of meat?
It's meat, isn't it? Owlbears famously not that fussy as long as it's meat.
Well, then can we have not your finest then? Just they're not fussy. Maybe we shouldn't spend the money on finest.
I won't lie. It's all of a similar grade. We don't really have there's not a tier system in play.
And what's your best game? Is it like Hungry Hippos?
What?
Just don't worry. Just get us the meat.
Do you want hippo meat? I can get it for you. It'll take me a couple of days.
Oh no!
I have never eaten hippo. I will take you up on that. Yes, please, sir.
All right. Yeah. I'll sort that out for you.
Just a quick question: has this place passed its health inspection?
Yeah.
No further questions. Case closed.
I ask him, do you reckon, could you get hold of some mice?
Yeah, I can get you mice.
How much for a bag?
Take me a couple of days.
Well, it can't take a couple of days. I mean, they're running around all over the place.
Yeah, but you've got to trick him into the bag.
He's got
How
you
are
there,
you-
Mr. Ruff.
Listen, I don't need them in one piece and chatting about. They can be dead as you like. I just want a bag of about 5 mice.
All right. Do you want them? How identifiably mice do you need them?
As long as they are the person. Trust me. Listen, the person that they're going to will know whether they're mice or not. So none of your bullshit.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, sure. But I mean,
Right,
do they need to be like? Would you mind if they were a sort of paste?
No, not really.
Like
I
mice.
can do that. I can do that for you tomorrow.
Right, fine. How much for a couple of slabs of mouse paste?
I'll do a silver piece.
And for the meat, for the bear.
Oh yeah, meat. What do you want? Just a bag?
Yeah, bag of meat.
Just a bag of meat.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah,
Bag of meat,
two silvers.
Sure. And can we get the rights to any of the meat being described in theatrical form?
What? Yeah, sure, whatever.
Thanks.
Uh,
Great.
He disconcertingly reaches up behind there's loads of like tools and stuff hanging behind the counter. He picks up a sort of rusty ladle and steps into the back room, and you hear a sort of I hear that noise a couple of times, and he presents you with a sack of, well, it's meat. It's undeniably meat. She's just faintly dripping blood through it as the blood soaks through it. There you go, 2 silvers.
There, Jack, that seems like something you would carry.
Thank you. I'll sling it over my shoulder.
And listen, I need the mouse meat to go over to the petting zoo for you can put it there for the name of Kez.
Oh yeah, sure.
But
I
listen,
mean, usually we don't deliver, but it's only across the square, isn't it?
yeah, I'd like to bristle a bit with the intimidation. Just let him know who's boss.
Sure.
This time it's confetti behind him.
Okay, I got an 8.
Okay. How do you intimidate this man? By bristling?
Just I sort of walk. I mean, I'm covered in spikes, and I growl gently.
Wow.
Yeah. With an 8, it comes out more like you're trying to flirt.
Yeah.
Like, but then it changes kit, and like it's
Yeah.
it goes on way too long. He just stares back at you, unblinking. And then, just as he hands the bag of meat over, you can just make out on he's got like quite a loose sleeve shirt on that you see on his forearm certainly is a patchwork of scars.
Right. Okay.
Hands the meat. Who's giving him money? Who's paying him?
I will.
I'll pay him.
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
you should. I'm not carrying
Oh,
the money.
both of you, great.
No, one of us will obviously wouldn't both pay and then just leave.
Yeah, we both
One
pay
of us
and
will
leave.
pay.
Mr. Hardcastle, could you pay for my hippo meat? I'll pick it up in a few days.
Yes,
hang on.
I'll pay for the hippo meat. I say
3 gold.
to Phillin while shaking my head at the guy and just giving him
3
2
gold,
silver.
mate.
Hang on, Paul.
Yeah. Yes.
Out of nowhere, Ruff just suddenly shouts, "Oh, for fuck's sake, just let the man pay!" And I literally drag Phil and Claire over to the corner, leaving Rich talking to the butcher. And then, while we're quietly all stood to one side,
One of them broke.
I say to Phillin, right, you need to look in his back room. Right, you're small, you're crafty, you're creepy. You get there. We're gonna need a distraction, and I'm hoping that's where you fit into this, Bardo.
Yeah. I'm going to play the drums with special effects. I don't have my drumsticks or my drums.
Lovely stuff.
So can we make that happen?
Yep, you can.
I'm rolling
Briony,
stealth.
Matt, roll stealth. Briony, what would you like to do?
Well, I've got one drumstick. If I remember rightly, I've lost one before, but I've still got one drumstick left and no drums. But Ruff has some new shiny percussive armor.
Yep. Okay,
I make
Briony,
this noise.
Briony, make a performance check while you drum on the rough night. Richard, as a man who is not privy to this plan, are you paying the 3 gold for the hippo meat?
No, I'm refusing to pay for the hippo meat. I just pay the
Mate, you don't pay for the hippo meat, your mate doesn't get hippo meat. That's how it works.
Yeah, to be clear,
We don't stock it, we have to get it in.
I understand that, but to be clear, we don't need hippo meat. He doesn't need hippo
Your mate said he wanted hippo meat.
Yes, I'll have that hippo meat. Thank you, Mr. Hardcastle.
You're now making that stealth check at disadvantage, Matt.
Damn it.
Directly addressed the man you're trying to hide from.
I was 18 as well.
Disadvantage, roll again.
It's dropped from 18 to 9.
Oh.
Okay. As you shout, I definitely want that hippo meat, as you lift up the counter to try and sneak behind. Like, hey, what you doing? Fuck off.
And then I go, I'm just a dream.
And I go, boom, boom.
Look, there's your bag of meat. Get out.
Well,
Right.
pleasure doing business. Sorry, Mr. Ruff, I couldn't get behind there like you asked me to.
What?
Nothing. Ignore him. He's been drinking.
Oh,
Right,
you
come
can
on.
Go out the shop.
And and I bundled him out the shop.
We all leave, and just as I'm about to close the door behind me, I go, make sure you get this chase. Oh, fuck's sake, I always fuck up the lines when I'm trying to be cool.
Richard, as that happens, what's your armor class?
18.
I'm sorry, that's his catchphrase.
An eyeball of a. It's not clear what kind of creature it's from, but just like some offal hits you in the face. This is thrown. Fuck off!
And I close the door behind me. Case and door closed.
It's quite offensive throwing an eye at you.
Right,
Yeah.
is there a back door on this place?
Yes.
Right. Listen, Halfling, have another stab at this. But this time, maybe you don't audibly talk to the bloke you're trying to hide from.
Oh, I'm trying to hide from him.
Paul, is there just a window we can look through into the back?
Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Rob, for the cheer. 1,000 cheer and new shapes. I don't know what the cheers are. But where was I going with this? Is there a window? There are a couple of windows, but they're all just covered in grime.
And is there a back door?
I can clean the grime. I've got which one is it? Prestidigitation. I can clean something, can't I? Small mark, no. One of them I can clean. Yeah,
Lovely work there from Missile Truck.
I can instantaneously clean or soil an object no larger than 1 cubic foot.
Why would you want to soil an object?
Yeah,
Well,
it's more
we are
riches.
doing that every time. So I can clean that window.
Bear with me 1 second. It occurs to me there's some stuff happening off camera. Cool.
Because I'm worried about
you can.
there.
There's a couple of windows out the back. There's like a little alley, which is just full of detritus, like just bins full of bones. Really, it doesn't smell great back here. There's also some leather. There's some leather in the process of being tanned, so this smells awful. Stretched over a sort of wooden, almost like a rack. In the sort of little backyard of this space, there is a door, and there's a couple of windows adjacent to the door. Briony, would you like to clean one of the windows with magic? Yes. Cool.
Prestidigitation.
Conspicuously, the grime melts off of the window, allowing you to look inside into the interior of what is effectively a butcher's. Cured meats hang from horrible-looking hooks in the ceiling. There's a big wooden table with the indentations of years of cleaver work on it. big knives, cleavers, and whatnot, and a big joint of meat that is in the process of being butchered. And you can see the guy from earlier on pottering around inside with his back to you, rummaging around in a cupboard.
See, Ruff and Al, are you happy being suspicious of everyone? And can we go rescue an owl there, please?
Who's got best naturey wisdom to check those bones in the bin? Look, all I'm saying is he's definitely selling meat.
Okay, guys, we've got to go.
The idea that what he says he's selling. Why will
we all start walking away.
I make this noise and follow them.
Paul,
Miss Claire, why? Oh, sorry, Rich.
Oh, I think I might have a plan.
What?
What?
Weird boast.
Man.
I might have a plan. Can I have a look at who's got the little bee thing?
Yeah, I think I have.
So you've got that, and it's missing some buttons.
Yeah.
And I've got one of the buttons. Paul, now that I've seen the button, can I try and locate object? Cast locate object for other buttons.
Give me a moment. Let me just look at the wording of locate object, which I have kicking around on my desktop somewhere, in case you cast it. You describe or name an object that is familiar to you. You sense the direction of the object's location as long as the object is within 1,000 feet. The object in motion, yeah.
How big is 1,000 feet? I thought that sounds like really far, but it's not, is it?
You know what? I'll let, because of the speed at which this plot is going, I'll let this work. Also, thank you so much, Suicidal Muppet, for the donation. Très generous of you. Thank you kindly. So yeah, Rich, if you want, you can try locate object on this button, but I'm not setting a rule that if you have a thing that looks like something, you can find it.
That's reasonable.
For the time being, I'll let it work as a sort of brief house rule to get us away from this fucking site, this irrelevant peripheral character.
Wait, change your plan. I want to storm the butchers.
Right.
Listen, guys, I know that butcher thing took a while, but there is a chance that guy had scars all over his arm. There is a chance that he had stolen an owlbear to sell as meat.
That is true. Let's do the bee thing, and then let's see if that helps us.
Let's do the bee thing.
Can I just ask the party a question? Because my memory is not so good.
Matt, I want to address the thing that's just been said in the chat first, which is Blytheweber said it's possible the DM might be cracking. Lol. No, and I'll tell you why. I've DM'd for Steve McNeil. This is nothing. Ghost bears. Fucking ghost bears. Yeah, some of you were there. Some of you know what went on.
Okay, I just want to ask the party a quick question because my memory isn't very good. What is an owl and what is a bear?
So it's a bit like the griffin that we saw. An owl's like a wiser version of that kind of bird.
Wider version of a griffin.
As luck would happen, as you're describing this, Briony, an owl flies past.
Oh, like that.
Okay, so that's a bear.
Bird. That's an owl.
Owl.
And then a bear is like a large, cuddly toy that's a bit angry.
I look at Ruff with a smile on my face.
I should point out.
And then in my head, I'd look at Ruff and an owl's head just forms over it. Got it.
Lovely. I'm glad we've gotten that. Richard, you have cast locate object. And do you have a sense that the object you're looking for is north, outside of the town? You've got a bearing on it.
Okay, great. The direction we already knew we were.
Rufus, you've already got inspiration. You can't get it twice.
Yeah, we head north then. The direction we were already going in.
Yes, but you have confirmed it's not due north. In fact, actually, what you can sense is
it's north by northwest.
Once you get through the gate and onto the road north of the city, it it's off to the left-hand side. It's actually through this big meadow that's outside of the city. On the right-hand side of the gate is all the cornfields, because someone's put the fire out in the cornfield that you started when you arrived in the town. You tried to make some popcorn. Instead, you're walking down steady
I just grab like half a dozen heads of corn.
Oh yeah, sure. we're all chumping corn as we go.
Sure.
And I stick them in my bag.
Great. Make a note of that on your character sheet, please.
Will do.
Actually, can everybody make perception checks, please?
My rolling tonight has been absolutely atrocious. 9.
Perception plus
8.
8.
12.
Wow.
Oh, sorry. I've got 12 as well, not 9.
All right. Did anyone get over? Who got 12?
Richard.
And Matt, what did you get?
8.
Briony?
8.
Great. Cool. So, you're walking down a steady incline towards a river, you realise. And Richard, you get a sense that whatever you're looking for is on the far side of the river. The grass here is actually pretty tall. There's also a lot of tall reeds across on the banks of the river as well. There's not a crossing immediately adjacent. There's a bridge just about a 20-minute walk further north, but there isn't a river crossing just here. There's probably might be one south of the town, you reckon. But what you can see is, Richard, you can see on the far side of the riverbank a little flash of yellow in the underbrush, yellow and black. However, as none of you beat the required number on your perception check, you are taken by surprise as out of the thick underbrush at a height of around 2.5 feet steps a figure. Behold! I'm a goblin! That was part 2 of episode 7. And hey, the players moved from one location to a different location, and a third, after spending a lot of time harassing a meat purveyor. Again, a little bit of a cliffhanger ending there, because that, my friend, is goblins. So tune in, yeah, because it's the 50s. Join us for part 3, which is coming right up, and enjoy what happens when the players have to deal with more goblins. We'll see you there. Oh, like and subscribe.